Hey guys, welcome back to the Raz Gaming Zone. Today I'm going to show you another replay of one of my games. The reason why I want to show you this replay is I played this game just a few minutes ago, and it touched on a key point that I talked about in one of my other videos. That point is scouting. Early game scouting can tell you a lot if you're going to get a cheese build or, the basics of what they're going to start off with. And in this game, the early game scouting that I do is not sufficient enough, and it ends up making me lose this game. Now I'm playing against a Zerg player in this map, and it's Metropolis, so there's 4 bases to check, but luckily in the second base I find out where he is. The Zerg player is XQTR. Pretty strange name, but yeah, it's his base. We can see that he does the 11 trick with the extractor for more drones. And then I'm going to go with a pretty standard opening, where I go with that 10 supply, 12 barracks, 13 refinery, and 16 orbital command. That's pretty standard. And in this game, unlike some of the other games, I actually saturate my refinery right as it comes up. So it's pretty good. That's all solid. So I'm feeling pretty pumped. I'm like, okay, this is going good. And then I start formulating the game plan in my head. Now, as soon as I was on the load screen and I saw I was playing a Zerg, I thought about going that fast Hellion harass that I always like. But I've noticed a lot lately that for some reason it just doesn't seem to hitch off right, and a lot of people are, going roaches, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll mix it up, and I'll go for an MMM build, and I think that'll be pretty strong. Unfortunately, on this map, you'll notice that my barracks placement is pretty bad, and I end up not being able to attach any kind of attachments to this. So as I'm putting it up, I decided that I'm going to put a bunker. Sorry. Okay, I decided I'm going to put a bunker up and switch this over to like this area and then build another barracks. And I sent out my early game scout, and he's almost to the next base. So I'm like, okay, go back down. I make sure this is saturated, and I start building my orbital command. All well and good. Now when I get up, and I finally get up into his base, a couple of things that I end up seeing is I see that he has his spawning pool up, and I see that he has his extractor up. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty quick extractor. We'll go into Raz Vision so we can see exactly what I see. So I see this, I notice his base, I move my guy over, I see those 3 things, and I'm like, okay. Instantly at that moment, I decide that he is going a Speedling Muta build, or at least a Speedling to start, maybe a slight cheese build, because I didn't even really look to see how many drones he had. And I'm like, this is good. I'm going to block off, I'll have some Marines set, and then I'm going to switch up my plan right at this time. I end up deciding that I'm going to go with a Marine Hellion, because even if he ends up going with a Speedling Rush in the beginning, it's not that big of a deal, because I'll have my Marines, I'll have my Hellions, and when he gets into mutas, I'll start building reactors, and I'll have tons of Marines, and I'll get combat shields, and this will be great. Now the thing I want to focus on here is this is what I didn't notice. I did not notice that he was putting up this roach warren, which it was up when I was coming by. If I had just scouted up in this area of his base, I would have seen that he had a roach warren, and I would have gone back to my original plan. And this is the exact reason why I lose the game. Because, 4 Marines aren't going to be anything against, a 5 or 6 pop roach army. Roaches are extremely strong and very durable, and you need marauders to defeat them. So I'm feeling all great, everything's good, I'm thinking I'm doing awesome, I'm starting to build my factory, everything's great, and then he starts sending out his roaches. I don't do any more scouting, and I don't even notice that he has this up. So I'm completely unaware, and I just continue on with what I'm doing. I start building a Hellion because I have to wait for this reactor. I know I'm going to move this one right after this Marine comes up. So I pop that one up, and I move it over, and I throw it down, and I believe I throw on a tech lab. And then I throw my bunker down, and I'm going to put these guys in it, and I'm like, okay, this is all good. This is great. I screw up a little bit here where I lift this barracks up, and I move it again to put on a second reactor, and I'm going to move this factory over to here so I can build some double Hellions, not even noticing that I'm about to be attacked. But I messed that up, so I cancel this reactor and move it again. And just as I'm doing all this, I get attacked by 7 roaches. I put all my guys in here, hopefully this bunker will help me out, but I accidentally put my ACV in the bunker, and I also didn't have them on auto repair fast enough, so it destroys my bunker. And right there is the end of the game. I GG only a minute later after some fighting and trying to feel if I can actually defend off this attack and continue on. But as you can see, it doesn't happen. My Marines get wiped out, and he just starts plowing through the rest of my base. My SCV had been sitting up here this entire time, and there was only one queen stopping me from at least being able to kamikaze in far enough to see this roach warren. And that is the reason why I wanted to show you this video. You have to scout, and you have to make sure you scout the entirety of the base, and you should be trying to scout every second that you get. If there's time when you're not macroing up and you have the time to scout, you should be checking, because that was the reason why I lost. If I had stuck with my original plan, I would have not lost that game. Thank you for watching this. I hope it helps in your future games, and have a great day.